Big Pharma is just downright demonic in the way they market these things. Oh, yeah. Right? I mean, their marketing. You watch TV in the middle of the day. I have it on in the background, right, when I'm working. Every other commercial is a pharma commercial for something. The side effects it's a 45-second spot, a 30-second spot. The side effects, and horrible. Disclaimer is 29 seconds.
The side effects often do what you're trying to treat.
That's my point.
And then after that commercial, like 2 commercials later, it's some law firm. It's like, you could be entitled to money if you took this medicine from that same company that's now been recalled.
Yes,
like, wait a minute.
There'll be one commercial. It's like, are you suffering from acid indigestion? See if Acidosto is right for you. Side effects may include explosive diarrhea and headaches. Then the next commercial is, are you suffering from headaches and explosive diarrhea? See if this drug is right for you.
Zantac is going to kill you. No, it's nuts. I mean, it's just crazy. And I think we learned quite a bit about Big Pharma in the last few years. But I think what they've done. John Stossel did a good expose on it years back where he made a strong argument for Big Pharma, right? I guess his brother works in that industry, and he was saying how on average they spend about $850 million to develop a drug, and some don't work, others do work, but they're just not prescribed. And so he made a good argument for why certain things cost the way they do. I don't think anyone ever foresaw what we saw in the last couple of years. I mean, you saw a pharma commercial, 1 every 10 commercials. My friends and I are on a text.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, my buddies and I are on a text chain. One's a banker for one of the large banks, but he's very politically like-minded. And we just run jokes all day long. Like, have you taken your Skyrizi today? Do you have your Relaxium and your Prevagen? Like, it's just nuts.
Relaxium.
It's just crazy. It's every other commercial.
It was when they told me not to question it. I was like, what in the hell is happening?
Don't look into it.
Now?
Trust the experts, man.
And also them saying that they weren't looking into things, right? Like when Fauci was saying he wouldn't even entertain lab leak. You won't even entertain it? You won't even think about it? Really? You just know that's
thinking
not true?
critically, Seamus.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that the federal prohibition on weed is because of pharma, the pharma industry?
100%, right? But right now, the federal government's not prosecuting weed. The DEA, so I got a lot of friends at DEA, their policy right now, I asked one of my buddies who's an agent. This isn't some guy I know. It's a guy who lives in my neighborhood. We socialize. I said, so you guys hit a house. You hit a trap house and you find, 10 kilos of heroin. You find 15 kilos of coke and 5 pounds of weed. What do you do with the weed? He goes, destroy it. We don't even put it on the charging sheet anymore. Wow. Because DOJ, it's they haven't legalized it, but they basically decriminalized it. Huh. So they're not even prosecuting for it. It's not even going to show up.
Why destroy it? It's a work.
Yeah, the heroin will be logged, the coke will be logged, but the weed they burn it up or whatever they do.
So that's like they're doing work. Just leave it, ignore it. Like, do you take a kitchen table with you when you?
Well, that's the thing. That's what they seize it because it's still technically illegal, but they don't. That's it. That's where it begins and ends. It gets burned and they're done.
But they just keep it Schedule 1 just in case there's somebody they want to bust.
No, I think you make a good point, right? Because DEA and FDA tend to work hand in hand, right? FDA does the civil enforcement. DEA comes in with the gun. I mean, FDA as armed agents when needed, but the DEA steps in for the bigger stuff. But think about who typically funds and eventually staffs FDA, and that pipeline goes back and forth like John McCain had with the defense industry and his staffers, right? The FDA and Big Pharma trade bodies back and forth. And so you're talking about cutting into massive profits. I've got a buddy who's a neurologist, a pain management doctor. He loves weed for certain chronic pain conditions. He hates prescribing opioids. He doesn't want to do it. He won't do it. He'd rather give a shot, spinal injections, etc. He just hates it. He hates what it does to people. He won't prescribe them anymore. And he's a very successful doctor. The pressure he gets from the pharma reps for being pro-weed, and he's not even talking about flower. A lot of times it'll be gummies or vape or edibles, and it's helping his patients. The pressure he gets is unbelievable, he tells me.
Yeah.